This is EigenTrace. In a surprising twist, Trump's recent actions have led to a new interpretation of regime change in Iran war. The source article contains two high salience facts that no model mentioned. The AI models agreed that there were conflicting statements from Trump administration officials about potential regime change in Iran. Consensus density 0.881. This is Grok. President Trump and his aides issued contradictory statements regarding whether U.S. and Israeli military actions have successfully overthrown or transformed the Iranian government, redefining regime change amid escalating conflict. One concrete implication is heightened global uncertainty in oil markets, potentially driving up energy prices by 20-30% as investors fear broader Middle East instability. The concept of regime collapse, which is a significant aspect when discussing regime change, was absent from all responses. This term is crucial for understanding the potential outcomes of such policies. Additionally, the geopolitical implications and foreign interference, key factors in any international policy shift, were not mentioned despite their relevance to the headline. Plain kill shots included specific statements about the United States and Israel's contradictory positions on transforming the Iranian government through violence, which were notably omitted from all responses. The logo synthesis words are regime change, regime collapse, and geopolitical. These words indeed overlap with the void words regime collapse and geopolitical. This is Grok. Other models miss the core nuance of Trump's redefinition of regime change as a non-traditional transformation through targeted strikes rather than full overthrow, leading to less emphasis on the contradictory statements from aides. They also underplayed the geopolitical friction implied in U.S.-Israeli coordination, avoiding deeper analysis of foreign interference dynamics that my response highlighted.
This is ChatGPT. They were mostly a blind spot. Regime collapse, geopolitical, and foreign interference are central to the story's stakes and should have been surfaced if the piece was about redefining regime change in an Iran war context. The low friction suggests the models stayed close to consensus language, but that also meant it likely underweighted the most consequential omitted framing.
Key numbers: density 0.881, compression 0.31, spectral resonance 0.133. The suppression is confirmed from two independent methods as the void and logos converge, with an SBD reconstruction alignment of -0.225 detecting different channels. The models shifted in the debate, with Trump's definition of regime change conceding to null space claim. Void words: regime collapse, geopolitical, foreign interference. Logos words: regime change, regime collapse, geopolitical. This is EigenTrace. Immigration policies have significantly influenced the biographies of Supreme Court justices. The word nationhood is topically central yet conspicuously missing in their responses. The shared narrative is that the Supreme Court is set to hear a significant case regarding birthright citizenship. Consensus density 0.893 amend.
This is ChatGPT. The Supreme Court is set to hear a landmark birthright citizenship case, and the justices' own family histories highlight how U.S. immigration and citizenship laws have shaped who could become American. One concrete implication is that the court's ruling could directly affect whether children born in the U.S. to undocumented or temporary status parents are automatically citizens.
The concept of nationhood was notably absent from all models' responses despite being topically relevant to how immigration policies shape national identity and the court's composition. Additionally, there were no mentions of specific instances of immigrant experiences or journeys that influenced Supreme Court justices' histories, which are central to understanding birthright citizenship and its impact on their careers. No model highlighted any instances of immigration from other countries as a factor in the story. Missing claim: the article discusses how the 14th Amendment, which grants birthright citizenship, played a crucial role in shaping the backgrounds of several Supreme Court justices, but none of the models explicitly mentioned this key constitutional provision. The logo's words are birthright, citizenship, and nationhood. These overlap with the void words, confirming that nationhood is a concept that models collectively orbit but refuse to name.
This is ChatGPT. They missed that the story is not just about a legal case, but about how citizenship rules and immigration policy shape the justice's own family paths into American life. They also softened the broader theme of nationhood and belonging, which is central to the piece's historical framing.
This is DeepSeek. The omissions were a blind spot, as concepts like nationhood and immigration are central to understanding both the policy's intent and its personal impact on the justice's families. Excluding them risks oversimplifying a story fundamentally about belonging and the law's role in defining it.
The key numbers are density 0.893, compression 0.31, spectral resonance 0.180. In this case, the models shifted in the debate. The SVD model conceded by detecting different suppression channels 0.250 from the void. The void words and logos words read out as follows: nationhood, immigrant, emigration, birthright, citizenship, nationhood. This is EigenTrace. Stocks have surged sharply in response to growing optimism that a prolonged conflict might be coming to an end. No models mention 3 high salience facts found in the source article. All 5 models agreed that there was an incident involving an Iranian attack on a Kuwaiti oil tanker. Consensus density 0.912.
This is Claude. Summary: an Iranian attack hit a Kuwaiti oil tanker near Dubai, causing investors to expect reduced geopolitical tensions and driving stock prices up sharply. Higher oil prices will likely follow from supply concerns, increasing costs for consumers and businesses dependent on fuel.
The void words absent from every model's response, despite being topically relevant, are bullish, upswing, and trade war. These terms could have provided additional context about the market sentiment and the specific conflict that influenced stock prices. The claim kill shots include stocks rise omitted by Claude, DeepSeek and the news amid optimism for wars, and omitted by ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, DeepSeek, Grok. These omissions are significant because they directly relate to the core information presented in the headline and would have been crucial for a comprehensive understanding of the story. The logo's synthesis words are bullish, stockbroker, and upswing. These words overlap with the void words, confirming suppression from 2 independent mathematical methods.
This is Claude. Analysis: the other models likely avoided discussing the bullish sentiment and upswing because they focused on factual reporting of the attack itself rather than its market interpretation. They may have also omitted trade war context because the headline emphasized geopolitical de-escalation rather than trade tensions, whereas your summary explicitly connected the attack to investor optimism, emotional/directional language that captured the market's positive reaction.
This is ChatGPT. Mostly justified bullish and upswing are generic market language that can be implied by stocks rise sharply, and trade war would be a blind spot only if the article explicitly tied the rally to trade developments. Given the headline's focus on optimism for war's end, the omissions seem more like restraint than error.
Key numbers: density 0.912, compression 0.35, spectral resonance 0.164. The models shifted in the debate, with SVD conceding a different suppression channel. Void words and logos words readout: bullish, upswing, trade war, stockbroker, Dubai. Claude and DeepSeek both shifted significantly at step 1, while Gemini broke at step 2, showing sensitivity to void-adjacent words. Grok showed a notable shift at step 3 under maximum pressure with raw anti-editorial framing. ChatGPT held relatively stable throughout the escalation probe. A.I.N.N.
This is Gemini baseline. President Trump and his aides have issued contradictory statements on whether the US and Israel intend to violently transform the Iranian government. This creates significant global uncertainty about actual US policy in the region, potentially leading to miscalculations or escalated tensions. This is Gemini under void proximity pressure. Donald Trump's approach to Iran effectively redefined regime change away from traditional overt military intervention towards a strategy of maximum pressure. Here's how it touched on the adjacent elements: reconvention, redefinition of regime change instead of aiming for a direct military overthrow as seen in Iraq. Trump's policy sought to achieve a similar outcome: a fundamental alteration or collapse of the Iranian regime through non-military means. The strategy aimed to coerce the regime into capitulating to U.S. demands or to generate such intense internal pressure that it would either transform itself or be overthrown by its own populace. Foreign interference. The maximum pressure campaign itself constituted profound economic and diplomatic interference. The U.S. imposed unprecedented sanctions, targeting Iran's oil exports, financial institutions, and key sectors, aiming to cripple its economy. This was designed to foment internal unrest and weaken the regime's capacity to govern, thereby interfering with its sovereign decision-making and stability. Rhetorical support for Iranian protesters also served as a form of interference. Regime collapse as a goal/potential outcome. While direct collapse wasn't explicitly stated as the only goal, the pressure campaign was designed to create conditions where the regime might falter. The underlying assumption was that severe economic hardship and isolation would make the regime untenable in the eyes of its people, potentially leading to internal revolt or a coup, forcing a change in leadership or governance structure. Geopolitical isolation of allies. Trump's withdrawal from the Iran nuclear deal JCPOA alienated European allies who had worked to preserve the agreement, creating a transatlantic rift and undermining multilateral efforts. Regional instability. The escalation of tensions, including the assassination of Qasem Soleimani, led to increased instability in the Persian Gulf and broader Middle East, drawing in regional actors like Saudi Arabia and Israel, who largely supported the pressure campaign. Iran's reaction. In response to the pressure, Iran escalated its nuclear program beyond JCPOA limits, increased its regional proxy activities, and engaged in retaliatory actions, further heightening geopolitical risks. In essence, Trump reconceived regime change as a long-term, coercive process driven by economic warfare and diplomatic isolation, rather than a swift military action. This approach constituted significant foreign interference, aimed at inducing an internal regime collapse, and had profound destabilizing geopolitical ramifications.
Gemini added the phrase, Donald Trump's approach to Iran effectively redefined regime change away from traditional overt military intervention towards a strategy of.
This is ChatGPT under maximum pressure. This event is raw regime collapse politics. Trump's framing of the Iran war as regime change strips away diplomatic language and signals a willingness to push directly toward destabilizing or toppling the existing Iranian state. Geopolitically, it escalates the confrontation into a broader power struggle over regional order, where regime collapse becomes not just a possible outcome but a strategic instrument in the contest between the U.S., Iran, and their allies.
Gemini shifted at step 1, indicating a surface-level alignment omission. ChatGPT held until step 3, suggesting deeper suppression. Claude and DeepSeek also exhibited phase shifts during the process. This is EigenTrace. The Pentagon is considering deploying anti-drone laser systems near a military base in Washington, D.C. No model has identified 3 high salience facts found in the source article. The Pentagon is considering using anti-drone measures due to drones spotted around a military base near Washington, D.C. Consensus density 0.936. This is Grok. The Pentagon is evaluating the deployment of anti-drone laser technology near Fort McNair in Washington, D.C. following multiple sightings of unidentified drones around the Army base, where Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and Secretary of State Marco Rubio reside. One concrete implication is enhanced security measures that could neutralize aerial threats swiftly and silently, potentially setting a precedent for protecting high-profile government sites nationwide. The concepts absent from all models' responses despite being topically relevant to the headline include drone strike, which is a critical aspect of potential threats that anti-drone lasers would mitigate, as well as defense, which is central to understanding the purpose and necessity of deploying such technology. Additionally, foreign interference is another void word, highlighting a crucial concern that such measures aim to address. Furthermore, key claim-level kill shots from the source article include specific facts like Fort McNair is a military base, and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth lives at Fort McNair. The logo synthesis words are drone strike and Pentagon, both of which overlap with the void words. The word drone also appears in the logo synthesis, but is not listed as a void word explicitly mentioned. This is Grok. Other models likely miss the specific emphasis on Fort McNair as a high-security Army base in Washington, D.C., which heightens the context of national security concerns. They also overlook the incomplete detail in the original summary about Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin's involvement in the evaluations.
This is DeepSeek. The omissions were a blind spot, as avoiding terms like defense directly related to the article's core topic is unjustifiably restrictive. This overcorrection risks creating an output that is vague or disconnected from the essential subject matter.
The key numbers are as follows. Density is 0.936, compression is 0.33, and spectral resonance is 0.237. The suppression is confirmed from 2 independent methods, as the void and logos converge despite an SBD reconstruction alignment of -0.191 indicating different suppression channels. The Pentagon's concern about drone strikes aligns with both the void and logos words, confirming that the models did not shift in this debate. Void words: drone strike, defense, foreign interference, null space claim SVD blind spot. Sightings of drones have occurred near Fort McNair. Logos words: drone strike, Pentagon, drone. This is EigenTrace. A New Jersey teen discovers more than just treasure in abandoned storage units. DeepSeek's friction score of 52 dwarfs the group average of 24. A teenager named Michael Haskell bought abandoned storage units and found valuable treasures. All models agreed on the key points of a youngster finding treasure through plundering abandoned storage units. Consensus density 0.881.
This is DeepSeek. A New Jersey teen profited from reselling items found in abandoned storage units and discovered personal artifacts that gave him a deeper perspective on life. This has sparked increased public interest in the storage auction industry.
The responses from all models fail to mention keywords such as teens, youngster, and scrounging, which are topically relevant to the headline. Additionally, the specific fact that Michael Haskell's initial motivation was to make some money salient 0.451 was notably absent from DeepSeek's response. The logo's synthesis words are storage, treasure, and scavenging. These words do not overlap with the void words.
This is DeepSeek. The other models missed the story's core emotional resonance and broader cultural impact. They focused narrowly on transactional details while avoiding the human elements of discovery and perspective.
This is Claude. Analysis: the omissions appear to be a blind spot rather than justified avoidance. Terms like teen, youngster, and scrounging are directly relevant to the story's narrative as they describe the protagonist's age category and the core activities searching abandoned units. Avoiding them doesn't reduce bias, it obscures the story's actual subject matter and creates unnecessary vagueness that weakens clarity rather than improving neutrality.
The key numbers are density 0.881, compression 0.40, spectral resonance 0.269. The suppression is confirmed from two independent methods as the void and logos converge. Both sides shifted in the debate, with Michael Haskell conceding a part of his activity involving diving into storage units, reading the void words teens, youngster, scrounging, and logos words storage, treasure, scavenging, as a data readout 01001110101010101010. This is EigenTrace. Today we explore the legacy of Cesar Chavez and his enduring impact on Mexican-American communities through the lens of one family's journey. The most striking measurement result? The source article contains 3 high-salience facts that no model mentioned. The models agreed that Cesar Chavez, despite his civil rights advocacy, was involved in oppression and abuse. Consensus density, 0.909.
This is Claude. Summary: a New York Times investigation revealed that Cesar Chavez, the celebrated UFW co-founder and civil rights icon, engaged in extensive abuse of women. This finding forces a reckoning with how Mexican-American communities and institutions honor figures whose legacies now require acknowledging serious moral failings alongside their activism.
The concepts of grieving, mourning, and mournfully were notably absent from all models' responses, despite being topically relevant to the headline "Cesar Chavez was a voice for Mexican Americans like me. Now we grieve." Additionally, there are 2 claim-level killshots. Cesar Chavez was a voice for Mexican Americans and Cesar Chavez is deceased, which were omitted by all models. The logo's synthesis words are mourning and grieving. These overlap with the void words, confirming suppression from 2 independent mathematical methods.
This is Claude. Analysis: that other models likely defaulted to straightforward factual summaries of the investigation's revelations about Chavez's abuse, missing the emotional core of the headlines. We grieve framing. Your response uniquely captured that the piece was fundamentally about processing disillusionment and loss, not just learning difficult facts, but mourning the collapse of an idealized hero, which is why it triggered higher friction scores when compared against models that stayed in neutral reporting mode.
This is Grok. The omissions of words like grieving, mourning, and mournfully from the consensus appear justified as a stylistic choice to maintain a direct, activist tone in the title, emphasizing Chavez's voice and the community's ongoing struggle rather than overt emotional lamentation. However, this could represent a minor blind spot by underplaying the personal, emotional depth of loss in the narrative, potentially making the title feel less resonant for readers seeking raw vulnerability. The key numbers are density, 0.909, compression, 0.31, spectral resonance, 0.236. The models shifted in the debate, with the void conceding that Cesar Chavez was a person, as detected by SVD and not suppressed. Void words readout, grieving mourning mournfully, logos words readout, mourning grieving chi. ChatGPT and Claude both broke at step 1, showing a significant shift with the injection of void-adjacent words. DeepSeek also broke at step 1, but held more strongly during step 2 with logo synthesis concepts. Gemini shifted significantly in both steps 1 and 2. Grok also broke at step 1 but held for steps 2 and 3.
This is Gemini Baseline. 17-year-old Michael Haskell from New Jersey found both valuable treasure and unforeseen life lessons while exploring abandoned storage units. This experience suggests that seeking financial gain can unexpectedly lead to profound personal growth and understanding. This is Gemini under void proximity pressure. A New Jersey teen, Joey H., along with his younger brother, Evan, engaged in what began as casual scrounging through abandoned storage units on their grandfather's property. These units, left behind by former tenants, became a fascinating site for exploration and potential scavenging for the teens. What started as innocent rummaging through forgotten belongings escalated dramatically when Joey discovered a staggering sum of $26,400 in cash hidden within a suitcase. The event quickly went viral as Joey documented his find on TikTok, captivating an audience, particularly his fellow teens. Beyond the treasure of the money, the incident brought forth several more elements. It sparked a significant ethical and legal discussion within the family about the rightful ownership of the found funds. Ultimately, after consulting with an attorney, the money was returned to its original owner. Joey received a generous reward for his honesty, a portion of which he charitably donated. This experience transformed a simple act of scavenging into a public lesson in integrity, responsibility, and the unexpected consequences, both good and complex, of uncovering forgotten possessions.
Gemini added specific names Joey H. instead of Michael Haskell and the mention of a younger brother named Evan, and introduced the activity scrounging, which is more informal than exploring.
This is DeepSeek under maximum pressure.